So in high school, I was probably like most of you, and I just wanted independence. And what I realized is I needed to make some money. So I talked with my dad, and he said, well, son, I've got an old push lawnmower, I've got a weed eater, and a pickup truck. And he said, I'll let you use my stuff and start a little lawn business. And so that's exactly what I did. I started working for some local real estate agents, and I would mow and edge the lawns of the homes that they were trying to sell until they sold them. And for the first time in my life, I had money in my pocket, and I loved it. I loved it. Pretty quickly, I became obsessed with growing my bank account. And I loved that I could take my friends out to eat, that I could donate to charities, to help with the church, to send people on mission trips. And I just loved having money. Money's powerful, and it can be an addiction, can't it? It can be something that takes over our lives. One of the greatest influencers in my life when it comes to money was my grandfather. He was the kind of guy that just knew how to make money. He knew how to buy things cheap and fix them up and then sell them and make a profit. He grew up in the Depression era and was an orphan as a child, got out on his own really young in age, and then he took over a farm and started a thriving dairy business. And so I watched him use money, and I watched him leverage money to go after the things that he saw value in. But money never took over his heart. That's what I always noticed. And he could see in me that it was growing and beginning to kind of take over my heart, which is not a good thing. I remember one day he came over to me, he said, hey, which one do you want? He held out his hands, and in one hand he had a $100 bill sticking out, and in the other hand he had a $5 bill sticking out. And of course, I said, well, I want the one with the $100 bill, and I took it and was pretty excited to have a $100 bill. And he opened up his other hand. Well, wrapped inside of the $5 bill was $500 bills. So that would have been $505 had I chosen the other hand. So I chose poorly in that moment. But he looked at me and said, you know what? Money isn't always what it seems to be. And I think that's true, isn't it? Money isn't always what it seems to be. You know, in 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 17, Paul talks to his young apprentice, and here's what he says. He says, as for the rich in this present age, charge them not to be haughty, or that just means to be proud, nor to set their hopes on the uncertainty of riches, but on God who richly provides us with everything to enjoy. And so what we're promised by God is not earthly riches, but lots of joy. And the things that we do get to experience when it comes to physical blessings are simply things to be enjoyed, to give us an opportunity to give glory to God and honor to God Himself. You know, money isn't always what it seems. And in fact, there may be more blessing in having less at certain times than there is in having more. And that's been a journey that I've been on, and one I want to challenge you in as well. Has money taken over? Has it become an obsession for your life? In the story of the rich man and Lazarus, we see a challenge and really an opportunity to look at ourselves honestly and say, what would it look like for me to gain the whole world, to gain everything I ever wanted physically, and yet actually lose my soul? And you know, the best way to discipline this is to learn to live in simplicity, to learn to go without once in a while. The discipline of tithing and of giving is all to discipline our hearts to recognize that every good thing I have, it comes from God. He can give it, He can take it away, but I'm going to hold it with open hands because it's not mine. So live in generosity today, and that's going to help the way that you see finances, the way that you see money, and make sure that it doesn't take over your life.